Now to President-elect Donald Trump's cabinet picks, sparking controversy. Trump unveiling another post, choosing vaccine skeptic Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for Secretary of Health and Human Services.
This comes after announcing his choice for Attorney General, former Congressman Matt Gaetz, once under investigation for alleged sexual misconduct and illicit drug use. These nominees will still need to be confirmed by the Senate. So joining us now is Ohio's incumbent Democratic Congressman Greg Landsman. Thanks so much for being with us.
Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Let's start with your reaction to President-elect Trump picking RFK Jr. as his nomination for HHS Secretary. What do you think?
I mean, my initial reaction was loyalty to Trump shouldn't mean that we all get measles. This is serious work. People pick Trump. I get that. He got more votes. But I don't believe that they wanted the chaos and extremism of his rhetoric and some of his policies. And I don't think that most Americans want the government filled by just Trump loyalist people who have tons and tons of money and end up in positions of enormous power. And the question is, who benefits? Obviously, Trump benefits because he's helping somebody who is loyal to him. But what about us? What about my kids? What about your kids? I mean, this is a serious issue, and hopefully the Senate does its job and makes sure that we don't appoint somebody to Health and Human Services that's going to upend our healthcare system.
All right, let's talk about Congressman Matt Gaetz, who has since resigned since being tapped for Attorney General. And we want to point out that the DOJ declined to bring charges against him, but he was under investigation by the Ethics Committee for some serious allegations, which he has denied. How will Democrats fight these controversial nominations?
Well, I think it's really important for people to know that the House Ethics Committee is a bunch of Republicans and a bunch of Democrats who take their jobs very seriously. When they investigate something, they do it together in a bipartisan way, and it's really important for this report about Gaetz to see the light of day. Just because he stepped down, resigned, doesn't mean he shouldn't be held accountable, and especially now that he's being appointed or being asked to be appointed to the Department of Justice.
I have to ask you, because you were able to win re-election last week. A lot of your Democratic colleagues that were running were not able to win. What do you think the Democratic Party has to do to win voters back?
Yeah, so I think it's first and foremost, understand what happened. It'll take some time, but for the most part, we know that the majority of voters were dissatisfied with the direction of the country. Trump represented change, even though I believe he represents the status quo in terms of what's broken about the economy and what's broken about politics. But they are frustrated about the economy, about their bank accounts, and he seemed as if he was going to go and fix it, and hopefully he works in a bipartisan way to do that. But I think moving forward, Democrats have to do a couple things. One is have a very coherent message that we understand that the system is rigged for the super wealthy, and we're going to be the ones that fix it, that we understand that people's bank accounts aren't where they need to be. We're going to be the ones that help working people in the middle class pay all their bills, and that people expect their elected leaders to care about them. And so Democrats have to do a better job showing up everywhere and making sure that people know we care.
I have to ask you, too, because Democrats are meeting next week for leadership positions. You are throwing your hat in the ring to be the person representing the battleground districts. Why do you think you're best positioned for that?
Look, a couple of things. One is, I'm from the Midwest, the heartland, and I think the party could benefit from additional voices from the Midwest at the leadership table. I get the messaging in part because I'm not on Twitter. I don't personally go on there and scroll. So all of the information I get is from actual human beings, from people in real life. I'm a soccer dad, so it's on soccer fields or in the grocery store, at town halls. My first piece of legislation was a bill to cap the cost of insulin for children because it came up in a conversation at a town hall, a small group discussion. And so I think that's a really important voice to have at the table. So get out the Twitter nonsense and that hyper-partisan stuff out of the mix, and start talking in the most normal, pragmatic way possible.
Ohio Congressman Greg Landsman. Congressman, thank you. We appreciate it. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks a lot.